Hello, Assalamu alaikum, and good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining Facebook Live class on Communicative English. Dear students, do you hear me? Do you hear me, please? It's okay. Anyway, if you don't listen to me, please let me know, dropping comments on the comments box. All right, hope you are all very good in your home. So let's have a good start with lesson. By the way, in my last two lectures, I talked a lot about writing a good paragraph. I tried to make you understand how to write a good paragraph there. Therefore, I introduced audio video clips and gave you an example of a set paragraph showing how a topic sentence, support sentences, and finally concluding sentence can be incorporated in a paragraph, and how a narrative paragraph can be written applying the technique of contrast, persuasion, illustration, cause effect, and comparison method. In addition, regarding the editing part and fine tuning, I tried to show both uh, manual and digital systems. I have shown the procedure of correcting your writing task, introducing correcting software. I mean, Grammarly, uh, grammar checker. Hope you have practiced in your home and already adapted with the technology. Dear students, today we will try to practice writing a new paragraph and see how our paragraph can be a good piece of writing step by step. So let's see what happens to the lesson 10 in lecture 11 and get started. Okay, all right. So far, I guess that you are watching the first slide, and usually, uh, what I say that is it is communicative English, and subject code is 65722, and ultimately, we have some objectives of starting this course. And after completion of this course, our students will be able to develop their creative writing ability, and they'll be capable to transfer their information, ideas, and knowledge, and ultimately their communicative competence will be developed, okay, in the workplace situation or in real life situations. Okay, here you see lesson 10, lecture 11. In today's lesson, we will focus on no vocabulary phrases related to weather of Bangladesh. Okay, it's very common to all. And ultimately, focus goes to practice writing a paragraph on weather of Bangladesh, know how to check writing task using correction software. And then these are our usual practice. We go for writing task, and that is almost mandatory for homework, and practice speaking in a group online with the topics given for group discussions. You will be given a topic today also, and you will discuss among your friends, with your friends. Okay, dear students, don't forget to use headphones while you listen to me. Okay, go for the next slide. And you see types and parts of the paragraph. In my last two lectures, I talked a lot about the types and parts of the paragraph. Uh, I want to skip uh, giving a short brief. That is, you know what is descriptive paragraph, what is narrative paragraph. Narrative paragraph is meant to entertain. It tells a story. Simply it tells a story. Okay. And the techniques or the uh, parts that belongs to a paragraph is very important. That is, a good paragraph belongs to three main part. That is topic sentence, supporting details, closing sentence. And in among these, some linguists say that it needs to have a transitory line. Okay, so let's see what happens to the paragraph. And what is topic sentence? In my last lecture, I discussed about topic sentence in detail, but here is, you see, again, I want to let you remember that what the topic sentence means. The topic sentence is the first sentence in a paragraph. It introduces main idea and it generate interest to the writer, and it state the main idea also. And how do I write topic sentence? Okay, that is very important also. First, you have to summarize the main idea of your paragraph and indicate to the reader what your paragraph will be. Okay, so directly, I don't want to go for describing supporting details, closing sentence. Okay, just uh, an example is given here, and I have talked about this example in my last lecture. And in this paragraph, some uh, sentences are marked in different colors so that you can pick the very topic sentence, supporting details, closing sentence. Okay, the first sentence is reddened. Actually, this is the topic sentence, and then first, second, third sentences are the supporting details. You see, and finally, Canada's cities are clean and efficiently managed. Canadian cities have many parks and lots of space for people to live. This is also a supporting sentence. And you see what I said in my last class, and you have observed or you have listened to the audio video clips from the native speaker that the topic sentence emphasizes one topic. Okay, and next you will get the supporting sentence in support of that very uh, information. And finally, the concluding line or conclusion is nothing but the rephrase of the topic sentence, but in a different way. Okay, in a different form. And these are all very important. Okay, these are the technique of writing a good paragraph. Okay, so let's go for the next slide. And then for writing a good paragraph, we use linkers. Okay, that is called sometimes connectors or transition words. Actually, these are the very ornamented words. It makes our paragraph looking good. It makes our paragraph, um, it sounds good. Okay, so I also talked about this matter in my last lecture. Just have a look. Okay, for your recollection, I have just introduced this slide. And then editing part. This is a very most important part of writing a good paragraph. Okay, in this stage, uh, mm, you must check your paragraph for mistakes and correction. And you see what are the points to be mentioned there. First, check your grammar. Then read your paragraph. Okay, read your paragraph again and again. Make sure each sentence has a subject. Okay, see if your subjects and verbs agree with each other. Check the verb tenses of each sentence. Check your spelling. Make sure that each sentence makes a sense. Okay, here is a technique of remembering how you can edit your paragraph. If you remember one word, that is cups. You see, here are some cups. Okay, if you remember the very word cups, then you can easily remember the details of the editing terms. That is uh, where we have to give emphasis in terms of editing. Okay, so you see, C stands for capitals, meaning that you have to check uh, the words whether it is capital or small. If the capital letter is appropriate, of course, you have to uh, write in capital letters. If it is not, you have to ignore it, you have to avoid it. Okay, then U. U stands for understanding. Okay, all right. This is very important because if you fail to make a sense, developing sense in your paragraph, your reader will not feel comfort while they will read it or while they will listen to it. Okay, and then punctuation is of course very important. Punctuation, hope you do understand what is the meaning of punctuation. Punctuation means comma, colon, semicolon, okay, question mark. These are called punctuation, and it stands for spelling, and this is very important. You see, spelling mistakes is considered very seriously when you go for writing a paragraph in your exam. Of course, spelling bears a very important part. Okay, so go for the next. Here, our main paragraph, as I mentioned at the very beginning, I mean in second slide, that today we will go for writing uh, a, a new paragraph. Okay, so our today's topic is weather of Bangladesh. You see, uh, I have written a paragraph. This is before editing. Okay, this is a raw paragraph. I mean, I have not edited yet. So I found some mistakes. You see, in this paragraph, 17 issues of writing mistakes found. Okay, you see some places or some words are reddened, you see, colored. Okay, that means here some mistakes are there. Okay, so in this paragraph we got 17 issues of writing mistakes found, likely grammar, punctuation, spelling, enhancement, style, sentence structure, and plagiarism. So, so far I remember when in our last class when we checked the set paragraph, we got a serious mistake. That is, the our correction software detected a serious mistake of plagiarism. Plagiarism means if you copy uh, any sentences or any statement from some other writings, then ultimately this is called plagiarism. Okay, and if you use that very sentences or quotes without giving information of the writer, then it must be considered as a serious offense that is called plagiarism. Okay, so let's see what happens. Now we are going to have a check. It can be manually, it can be digitally. As I mentioned, that we have a great correction software. If we don't feel confident that my paragraph is not uh, doing well, okay, so to develop our confidence, we can have a check using correction software, right? So let's see what happens this paragraph. Okay, you see, as I said in my last slide, that it was the very raw paragraph, and when I drag and drop on the software, it found 17 writing issues. Okay, and as I said, that the issues were grammar, punctuation, spelling, enhancement, style, sentence structure, and plagiarism. But very fortunate we are today here that it gets no plagiarism. It's because we have developed the paragraph of our own. We have not quoted any line, we have not quoted any statement from any other's writing. Okay, so no plagiarism here. Right. So let's see what happens gradually when we go for editing in the second stage. Okay. In the second stage, we have edited, we have refined a little bit, and we found here only 14 writing issues. That means the mm, the mistakes are being uh, decreasing. So here we got uh, some grammar mistakes, punctuation mistakes, no spelling mistakes, enhancement, a little bit word choice. This is not so important, not so important, okay, in terms of writing, uh, is because sometimes machine does not read your mind. So there may not have may not have similarities of choice. So he find it out, the machine find it out for what choice. Okay, so it's not so important. Okay, and then go for the next slide. What happens to the next stage of editing? Okay, wow, that's great. We got only 12, we found only 12 writing issues in your text. Okay, so gradually we are manually and digitally, we are having check with the grammar to make it a good art of writing. So in this stage, we have only 12 mistakes. You see, so our mistakes is decreasing. The same paragraph, I have used the same paragraph, but in different stages, I have just corrected. Okay, so I am just let you show how you can edit your paragraph before publishing. Okay, and then that's it's great to see that we have uh, only 11 writing issues. Okay, and gradually you see we started from 17 issues and it goes for 14, then 12, then 11. And what happens next? You see, okay, all right, dear students, we got the final draft. Okay, and I hope that you will not find more than 5 to 6% errors, and it is mm, fine, it is good to have only 5 to 6% errors, because for the native for out of the native learners, I mean we are not the native learners, we are the foreign learners, so it is good to have mistakes not more than 5 to 6 or 10%. It is not possible for the foreign writer or foreign speaker or foreign user of language to correct 100%. If you write this paragraph in your exam, I'm sure you will get more than 90% number. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay, hmm, we have finished writing, and now it's the time to judge the paragraph. Okay, then how you will judge it? It is fine tuning at the last stage of writing paragraph. Okay, so you have to give emphasis on the following points. That is, what is the main idea of this paragraph? Of course, you have to remember that before publishing, you should have a look. considering the following points that can make your writing a finished product. Okay, a good piece of writing. So let's see what happens to the points in the stage of fine tuning or in the stage of judging the paragraph. Okay, so what is the main idea of this paragraph? So you have to check the idea you want to develop is uh, developed clearly, right? And then what do you notice about the first line of the paragraph? Does it require the characteristics of topic sentence? Of course, you have to take care of the mm, topic sentence and its criteria. Okay, do all the sentences in the paragraph support the main idea? And come to the supporting ideas. Okay, so you have to look at very carefully that if the supporting sentences or supporting details support the main idea. Okay, so what is the first main point? See, second main point. See, third main points. Okay, so you can see when we developed a new paragraph how it is described. Okay, and then what transition words are used? Did you use any transition words or transition line? Okay, does the starting word of a sentence repeat more than twice? Yes, we have a mistake though, but yes, we have a mistake. We have used one sentence or the same sentence or same type of sentence in our paragraph. What I finished right now. Okay, so it's a mistakes, but it's not so big mistakes. Okay, but try to avoid it. Okay, right. Check that all your sentences focus on the main idea. Of course, you have to remember one that if all the sentences focuses or whether all the sentences focuses on the main idea, and then what is the concluding sentence? This is very important for us to recognize or mention the concluding sentence as because concluding sentence has some characteristics and of course you have to follow it, okay, if you want to write a good paragraph. And then see if your paragraph is interesting. That's very interesting matter that you have spent a lot of time writing a paragraph. You invest in huge labor of collecting information. You have studied a lot to write or to have preparation, but finally your paragraph is no more interesting. The reader don't feel comfort to read your paragraph. So your all efforts, all attempts will go in vain. All right, this is our usual task, uh, that is vocabulary box. This is our usual task. And when we experience a new lesson, of course, we pick some new words. So it is our uh, duty to pick the new words and to learn and to understand and to try to transfer our knowledge to others, knowing that very new words. Okay, we will try to explore the very new words and try to transmit it. Okay, try to share it with our friends so that it can graft in our mind. Okay, all right, this is our usual practice also, group discussion. And in today's lesson, you have a topic of group discussion, that is how do you feel correcting your writing task using software online? Okay, okay, all right, dear students, we have learned how you can use a correcting software, editing or finding mistakes to make it a good one. So I think that it is very interesting and it uh, helps It helps to develop our confidence, okay, while we go for writing task. All right, go for the next slide. That is homework. This is also a very usual task, and usually each and every lecture we go for uh, writing task. That is, we go for writing a paragraph or something else like that. So you see, today you have a writing task also, and that is advantage and disadvantage of using correction software in learning language. Okay, advantage and disadvantage of using correction software in learning a language. Here you have to apply the technique of writing, that is contrast and comparison. Okay, remember this, and you just uh, develop your paragraph, edit yourself manually first, then go for building confidence. You can put it to the correction software, and applying one more steps, you may have a good piece of writing. Okay, all right. You see, okay, dear students, if you want to watch this, if you want to enjoy this class once more, of course, you have to keep watching and get connected with www.skills.gov.bd. Okay, so keep watching. All right, we are at the end of the session. So time is getting off, dear students. I have got to get going. Have a good day and take care. Thanks for watching or enjoying my lecture online, and hope for the best to see you next. Okay, thank you.